Welcome to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Today, I am so happy to welcome Christine Hart of Mindful Heart. Chris Hart is a dynamic speaker and communicator. She's been working as a teacher for over 25 years and is passionate about teaching meditation and helping others discover their life's purpose. That always sends my heart so far. I love that. Her unique approach includes a wonderful sense of humor and uplifts her audiences. She is a great speaker. She is a kind soul and a wonderful inspirator. Welcome to the show, Christine. So happy to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's nice to reconnect with someone who does meditation, and you do Reiki and yoga, and I want to talk about tapping and the importance of breathing. One of the things you do that I absolutely love is called hitting the pause button. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I find when maybe you're in the midst of a situation that arises that you did not anticipate, a bad phone call, a scary medical report, it's imperative in those moments not to let the limbic system kick up. That's the system that makes you feel fearful, sad, upset, scared. You simply just take a breath and breathe, pause. And we all have a pause button if you need a physical touch in the middle of our forehead. Or maybe your pause button is touching middle finger to thumb. It's something to bring you right into the moment to calm you down. What can I do before I respond? Much better to respond than react.
It's similar to counting to 10 before you respond, and you're absolutely right. Responding is better than reacting. Reacting usually has emotion behind it, and you're still in your ego, and you really want to be in your observer, don't you think?
Absolutely. What you're calling the observer view, I call my soul point of view. And I know when I'm in my soul point of view, when I am calm, cool, collected, filled with compassion and unconditional love. And I know I'm in the ego when I'm not any of those things.
Yeah. When you're feeling a lot of emotions, you're definitely in the ego. And it could be good emotions and bad emotions. So, you can still be in the ego and have a good emotion. That doesn't mean you're responding, though. That means you could be reacting. Mm-hmm. So when people are using the pause button, what do you think the benefits are? I mean, like I said, I love the concept of the pause button. I know people in the past I actually had an employer who you would go in and ask a question and it would be complete silence. And the silence was scary and deafening. But he taught me a really good thing about silence, because that one day I said to him, why do you do that? It just drives me insane. And you find that you just start talking and you start to ramble and start just saying stuff. And he goes, well, partly I do it because people do just that. They ramble and they just say stuff, and you learn a whole bunch of stuff that you may not have learned had you not given that opportunity for them to ramble on. But more importantly, he goes, I'm just thinking about what my response is going to be, or thinking what you said so I could respond to it. So he doesn't come right back with an answer. So once I got used to that silence, it became very empowering.
I agree with that. I was thinking of how we over-explain, and I'm thankful that I learned that lesson as when I am silent, when you rearrange the letters, it spells listen. So I'm either listening to my inner intuition, or I'm listening to, like what you were saying with this gentleman that you had the conversation with. People feel this need to fill the space with words, like you say. When someone asks if I would like to go somewhere and I'm not able to do it, no is a complete sentence. No. And because I am polite, I say, no, thank you. And I don't explain. And I think that's the beauty of the pause between breaths, that sacred space. It's slowing everything down, yet it's expanding your time because you're taking a moment.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, no, and it's very applicable. I know that we are taught that you have to come back with a response right away. You need to respond right away. And if you're not, it's not truthful. Or if you're not, it's this. Or they put labels on it to make you come back very quickly. But it doesn't give you a chance to think. And that thoughtfulness is really important on really being mindful of digesting what somebody just said and allowing them to be felt heard as well. So silence isn't a scary thing. It is something that I know I embrace now, and trying to break out of that giving the explanation. You don't have to explain. When you're taking a sick day, you don't have to dive into a whole story. It's just, I'm sick today, I won't be in. That's okay. And a lot of people are very uncomfortable with that.
I agree. It's almost as if everything has to be fast. Everything needs to be sped up. I mean, this is the generation that my kids are growing up in, and I want them to value instant gratification isn't always the way. There's a reason why there's a delay. Maybe you have to grow and learn in a certain area before you receive whatever you think you need to receive instantly. It's just pausing throughout the day at the top of the clock or on every hour, just taking 3 deep breaths. Where am I in this moment? How do I feel in my body? What's the energy like around me? What's my thought process? There's so much wisdom and what's the word I'm looking for? And intuition in pausing.
What's the purpose? What's the benefit for doing that? For taking those 3 minutes at the top of the hour?
You're coming back into your own. You're realizing, where's my attention today? Am I being led by events, the media, what's happening right in front of me? Am I being caught up? Am I future tripping? Am I stuck in the past? The moment's all we have. So it's just a kind of a gentle reminder to start to be aware. Use the pause as an awareness. Oh, I'm washing dishes, but yet I'm thinking about what show I'm going to watch later. Be in the process of washing the dishes. I know it's small and mundane, but the warm water on your hands, the feel of the cup or the plate, just being there and experiencing whatever you are doing will keep you present. And it's just the first step is pausing and just becoming aware.
Yeah, that being aware, that being present is great. You used a term called future tripping. What do you mean by that?
Well, when I get this, and then I can have this house, and then when I get that, then I can go on that vacation. So you're never in the now. You're just anticipating what are you going to be doing next. And that could be your whole life until you realize usually the age 70 is the age where you figure out, am I fulfilled? Am I content? If the answer is yes, you are most likely living most of your life in the present moment, honoring who you were meant to be on this planet. But if at the age of 70 you feel frustrated and regret, you haven't. You've probably spent too much time wishing for the future or regretting things that happened in the past. But at 70, you could still change your mind. You could still do what you're there for.
You can. It's true. At any age, you can change the direction. You can even start with a bad day and change the direction with just a simple mindset. And we talk about mindset, the importance of mindset and embracing the new and meditation, the importance of meditation and resetting. So that 3 minute at the top of the hour, bottom of the hour, whichever you want, that 3 minute actually would it be a good depiction for me to label it as it's almost like a mental reset to make sure we're where we're supposed to be in alignment?
Definitely. And one of the best ways, what can you appreciate about yourself, about someone else? You've heard the phrase, gratitude is the attitude. And it's so true. The more thankful you are for what you have, you give yourself this sense of peace. Our minds are trained to look for what we don't have. So we need to retrain our brain by focusing, what do I have already? I have a great relationship. I have great kids. I have a roof over my head. And it's so simple, but it's the simple things that fill you with peace and joy.
Without a doubt. And you're teaching this to our future leaders. And I love that you brought meditation and helping our youth discover what their life's purpose is. You do it as a teacher, correct?
Yes. My whole being is passionate about having my students and anyone who comes in contact with me, if they're open to it, to understand that they're limitless and you can put your mind to something. And if you are acting as if you have it already, I am a speaker, I am a lawyer, I am a doctor, whatever. You're speaking it into being. You're thinking it into being. And it's coming. It's coming towards you. So you're moving together. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's one of the things you were talking about, immediate gratification. So we talk about universe and the universe delivering. And if you put it out in the universe has to, it's the law, it has to respond. And so, but it takes time. So you may think, oh, it didn't happen because it didn't happen in that second, in that moment. But you're going to find that it will happen. And it's amazing. The more you believe and the more you put it out there, the sooner it happens. But you need to be open to it, right? It has to be, you have to be open for the opportunity to receive it in.
Absolutely. And when you have the belief feeling in your cells and your whole cells are vibrating with belief and you can feel it in your energetic body, there's no better feeling than that because you know it's coming. You don't have to stress. How's it going to show up? This never will happen. That's all gone. You just know it.
You're absolutely right. So right on point. And so if we go from taking the pause, let's talk about the importance of breathing.
Okay. So for those of you who think meditation is so difficult, it's probably because you haven't paid attention to your breathing. Most of us chest breathe. When you newborn babies and adults have diaphragmatic breathing. We have it when we're sleeping, adults do, and newborns are born with it. And that's breathing in and out through the belly. It's more of a beneficial way of breathing. It's dropping you into the moment. So mindful of the breath. And again, take 3. It's funny how lots of things are in 3s, like the trilogy. 3 is a magic number. When you can, just follow the breath all the way in, blowing out your belly, and then following the breath all the way out, pushing your belly in. You're lowering your blood pressure. You are lowering your anxiety. You're more present in the moment. You have more energy.
Yeah.
So to become a good meditator, you breathe first. You get your breathing down. And then you can move into meditation if you choose to. But there's breathing is your alignment with spirit. It's just, it changes, the pattern changes throughout the day. And the breath will always bring you back to a place of calm if you're conscious of it, if you're aware.
It's almost like, have you ever hyperventilated and you're like breathing really fast and breathing and you just like, you can feel your chest pounding out of your chest, your heart pounding out of your chest. And if you could just slow that down, right?
Yeah.
It puts you in that vibrational, more positive vibration.
Oh, and it will, I was going for an MRI and here I am, I love meditating. I could feel it all of a sudden as I'm going into the tube. I was like, whoa, I don't like this. And then I immediately said, breathe, calm, relax, and just calmed myself with breathing. It's such a simple tool, and it's available to us always.
And it's free.
Yeah.
It's a free tool available. That and the pause button is absolutely free. And
yeah.
And that, that associated with, I know you do Reiki, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yoga. So how do we benefit from doing things like that? I know I meditate every day. I try to do yoga every day. Those are things that center me, sets me on my day in a very positive way. And I find the days that I don't do it, my days aren't as, I would say, productive or I don't find as much joy. And again, I seem to find a lot of joy. I am unicorns and butterflies, and I'm okay with that. It's all good. I'm gonna find the good in anything, even in the coronavirus. I found that there was a message from the universe saying that we are all the same. So
absolutely.
Notice that we are all the same because we were all focused across the world, didn't matter where we were, on 2 things: each other and loving each other and taking care of each other. and we were concerned about, what's going to happen in the future. That's it. The rest of the stuff dropped away. The unimportant stuff dropped away. It gave us an opportunity to focus. So if we were smart, we would heed the message universe was telling us, right?
Absolutely. And so I'll speak to Reiki. We have 7 chakras in the body, and when they're all balanced, you have this sense of flow. And you could be emotionally blocked. You could be physically blocked. And Reiki is an energy. It's in everything. And when you go for a Reiki treatment, your Reiki practitioner, if she's a skilled one or he, you will feel when you leave a different person. You will feel a buzzing. You will feel content. It's like a spiritual massage. It's incredible. And we actually have 114 chakras in the body. But when you go for a Reiki treatment, they tend to focus on the top 7. And it's divided. There's 3 from the belly up and 3 down, with the heart being the center. So what is Reiki? It just gives you, it gives you a sense of, I can be in this world just as I am. I can seek energy balancing through this Reiki healing. And it also gives you sometimes clarity in an area that you didn't have it because it was able to remove a block. So Reiki has so many different dimensions to it. It's just an incredible practice that all of us can be trained in doing. It's just simply activating the healer in you.
That really brings us forward, that we could actually heal ourselves through these activities. And yoga, you're a big proponent of yoga. You recently went on a little field trip, right, to do a little yoga?
Yes, I went to Sedona with my sister, and
I'm so jelly.
That place is just the energy, and you can find that type of energy wherever you are, but there's something about Sedona. And the American Indians still go back there and still do their cleansing once a year in one of the creeks. It's such a spiritual, holy place. There's vortices there where you can step into this energy flow and have an experience, whatever you needed. But you need to go to the right site. So you'd have to research that. If you need to heal from an emotional trauma, you go to Bell Rock. Or if you need to experience something spiritual, you could go to Chapel Hill. There's so many areas and mesas that give you this opportunity to let it all go, to remind you you're part of the universe. And as you say, we're all connected.
Yeah.
And if we can remember that, we could see the beauty in everybody.
Without a doubt. We are all connected, and we're all here to have this journey together. And the people who lives we touch and touch ours are all with purpose. That was predetermined before we even got here. So, and however you want to believe in that is great. But the truth of the matter is there's so much that points exactly to that. And you can try it in your own life. It's amazing. Everyone, if you think about people in your past who have come into your past, be it for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, mm-hmm. There was a reason there that you could actually track back to if you look back at it. It may simply be to deliver a piece of information to you and then move on. You never see that person again. But there was very important that you got that piece of information because that led you to the next step in your journey. So I love how all of these modalities that you work in, Christine, connect to each other, from the Reiki to the yoga to, let's talk about tapping in the next half-hour segment. Would you want to touch base on that?
Sure.
I would love to talk about that in the next half because I think, I want to learn more about tapping, and I know there's an important talk more about the Joy Center. You do mirror work, profound listening, which is one of my favorites. You do so much, and you're so brilliant in this in such a loving fashion. And I just, in the last minute of this segment, what got you into all of this?
Well, it took a divorce. I mean, I was always aware, but it took a real breakdown for me to break through again.
Yeah, it's usually a very large happening, so same with me. It was a very large occurrence, and it was a big change, and it brought change, which is great. That's why I love change now. I embrace it because I'm so excited to see what's coming in. So sometimes we have to let go so that we can open room and space to let something else in. But you are listening to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne Casdia, and we are speaking to the great, wonderful Christine Hart. And we're going to just take a little break, but we will be right back to continue this conversation, talk more about all kinds of things that are joyous, wonderful, and things that you can do at home yourself to have a more joyous life. Be back in a few. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas on what you'd like to hear more about, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. And of course, follow us on social media at Healthy Lifestyle with LA. You know, we love hearing from you, and we answer every email, post, comment, absolutely personally. And we appreciate all the input that you've given us over the past few years on what you want to hear more about and guests you'd like to have back. So thank you so much. We appreciate the interaction and love being here for you on every wonderful Saturday. So here we are today speaking with our lovely Christine Hart, who's just so dynamic and wonderful and just a beautiful, kind soul. And we were talking about Reiki and yoga. And Christine, you were going to enlighten us with a thing called tapping.
Yes, knowing you probably have heard of it. It's EFT. So the guy who came up with it,
Is that when I transfer money from one bank to another? No. Tapping, you mean when I tap my toes so I keep the rhythm? No, I'm just being fresh. No, go ahead. It's one of those days, Christine.
We have these meridians. Yep. So think of acupuncture. When we tap on these meridians and we speak of what's worrying us, what's causing us to be anxious, for instance, money. A lot of people worry about money. So there's these, I forget how many, but I'll explain as we go. You start by going to the middle of your head, and you could do that by sticking your thumbs in your ears, and wherever the middle finger lands, that's your first tapping point. So I tap with my 4 fingers kind of bent, almost like you're holding a mug, and you tap. And as you're tapping, it's a gentle tap. I'm actually doing this as I'm speaking with you.
Me too.
You verbalize what is causing you stress. So mine is, even though I'm stressed out about my financial situation, I completely love and accept myself. And it's awkward to say it out loud, but it's imperative that you say it out loud because your central nervous system needs to hear it and embrace it. So you do that, and then you take your 2 fingers, your index finger and your middle finger, like a peace sign. And no, that's a lie because they're apart. Peace sign. You make a peace sign, and then bring the pointer and middle finger together, and then you find the top of your brow. It doesn't matter which one, left or right. And you tap on that, type the eyebrow bone, and you say it again. Even though I'm totally stressed out about money, I completely love and accept myself. Now, the language doesn't have to be the same. What has to be the same is the second part. I completely love and accept myself. So you're tapping as you're saying that. Then you're moving it to the side of your eye socket. I wish I could show you, but we're doing the best we can. And you need to tap on the side of your eye, the socket, and you're saying it again. Even though my financial situation is not as I would like it, I completely love and accept myself. Now move to, how do I explain this? Middle of the eye, socket again. So now you're at the bottom socket, your cheekbone, and you're saying it again, the money. I'm scared about money, but I completely love and accept myself. Mm-hmm. And you're still tapping with your fingers together. Now move between your nose and your lip, that spot between your lip and your nose.
That little indentation? That little indent? Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you're tapping again. I'm freaking out about money, but I completely love and accept myself. Now the next one, you're tapping you feel your collarbones. There's two ways you could do it. And your collarbones, there's an indentation.
Mm-hmm.
And you put your hands where you could tap it with your fingers. However, almost like a claw. And some people do it right over the center, and some people tap both collarbones. I prefer to do over the center. It doesn't really matter. You're still hitting the same meridian. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm freaking out about my money, I completely love and accept myself. And then the last one is for the ladies. You put your hands, you wrap your hands around your chest where your bra strap is, so kind of below your armpits. So with the men, it would be, think about your chest, middle of the chest, and you're moving over to the side. So you're tapping your side body. Even though I'm freaked out about money, I completely love and accept myself. And you do this circuit until you feel calm. So you say going in, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm feeling an 8. You don't stop the circuit until you feel about a 4 or a 3. And it'll be a shift. And it's one of those things, how does this happen? Listen, I don't know. All I know for me, I tapped in the meridian, and I've calmed myself down. And that's huge.
So cool. We will share that on the site so that you have those locations, and you can insert whatever you want before, but you always need to add, and I completely love and accept myself. And I think that's lovely. And you actually feel a shift when that happens, yes?
Yep. Internally and feeling-wise. For me, everyone's different, but yeah, you go until you feel calmer, a shift, maybe your body just totally relaxes, or you feel and say, oh, I feel so much better now. I'm worrying about something that I can't control in this moment.
Yeah. And we need to be mindful of things like that can we control it? So that's a way for us to calm ourselves down. And you know what we're going to do, Christine, is we're going to have you back when we are live on Facebook, and this way you'll be able to show us how to do that. And also, I know that you do a Facebook series called We Are All Connected, correct?
Yep.
And that's where you post every single day. And that's a great thing to hook up and speak to Christine, see her up there. It's on Facebook, it's Christine Gorman Hart. That's her @sign. And then on Instagram, it's @official Chris Hart. And she has a YouTube channel called Christine Hart. So you can continue to follow her with her brilliance. Very insightful. When you're having a day, I assure you go to one of her Facebook posts that day, and 9 times out of 10, when I see Christine and she's talking about something on her Facebook post, it's exactly the message I needed to hear for that day. I don't know how you do it, Christine, but it's totally brilliant. But it's exactly what I needed to hear, and it's not that you were speaking to me, you were just speaking on a topic for that particular day. And I do always wonder how you come up with the topics.
I'm guided by my angel cards. I trust that it's going to come through me. I just put it all over. I believe I'm a channel. And at first I was like, nervous. I'm like, what are you nervous about? Whatever's supposed to come through will come through. There's some that's just relieving. And of course there's days I'm like, oh, I meant to say this, but you don't know that. Only I do.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we wouldn't know if you left something out. Which angel card deck do you use?
I use a bunch, but my favorite is Angel Answers by Doreen Virtue. I love it. And I use also Kyle Gray to explain what the day is. Like today is day 94, posting day 94. And today's meaning, I have to look. I forgot. I just use those as my guides.
Yeah. I know a lot of our listeners do the cards, and they like to see that. And I like doing my tarot in the morning. Some people call it tarot. I've always been taught to call it tarot. And we've had quite the discussion amongst friends about that. And it's like, call it whatever you want as long as it works. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So, and I do my cards every morning as well. So it's really, it answers a question. I always ask myself when I'm shuffling the cards is, please tell me what I'm supposed to know. Tell me what I'm supposed to know. And generally it gives me the idea of what my day is going to be like and what I'm supposed to know or what I'm supposed to work on. So all these tools are available to us to get us through scenarios like we've been going through the last few months and take away the anxiety. That and shutting off the TV would be a really good start. Christine and I were talking about that earlier, right, Chris?
Oh, I absolutely agree. I haven't watched the news since 2013, and I don't miss it.
Yeah, it's very anxiety-filled, and it's those kind of things keep you small and don't allow you to be the human you're supposed to be and rise up to really follow your life's purpose. So I really highly recommend shut the news off. If you're supposed to find out about it, you will, I promise. It always does come to you if you need to have it, but that kind of news you don't really need. And it doesn't serve any purpose other than making you more nervous and anxious, where you would want to be doing some of these things that you should be doing anyway to help yourself be in alignment with who you are. Right, Christine? You're also an advocate of that as well.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And I want to remind me and everyone else, when you're out in nature, nature is speaking to you. Who's showing up for you? Which animal, which insect? There's such intuition and wisdom in nature. I can't tell you how many times a red robin has shown up, and that's reminding me transformation, change, like you're doing the right thing. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's confirmation. You know you were on the right track. I mentor clients, and this particular client I'm thinking about is going on this new journey, and they were all excited, and they called up and they said, "Yeah, we saw this, and that," and I was just like, "Did you look them up?" And so they looked up those particular animals, and sure enough, it was confirmation from the universe that they were on the right track. You know, it was, you are on the right journey. They are following you. They're making sure they're guiding you. And it happens every time. So you can take our word for it, or you can experience yourself. It's so much more fun to experience yourself, because then you're going to crave more of that. And you know, it does act as a calming element. Like, you are empowered to be where you're going, to be on this trail. So, and it's supposed to come easily, believe it or not. If you're on the right path, it's easy. It's not a fight. You're not having to, you know, take that round peg and stuff it into the square hole. I know I used to try it all the time. It doesn't work. So I just learned to listen, and that's where the pause comes into place, and the breathing, and allowing that silence to wash over you, because a message is definitely coming to you. So let me ask you a question, Christine. Are we really able to be calm during these uncertain times?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I tried to just look on the bright side. I, again, cut out all the news. And it's imperative that we are calm during this. I remember in the beginning, oh, this is crazy. And I immediately said to myself, no, this is a reset. This is a wake-up call. This is the perfect time to exercise being calm. Yeah, and trusting. It's a choice. And trusting. The universe, what I believe is, right before the dawn, right? The darkest hours, right before the dawn. So we're going to go through this tremendous pressure, and then, bam, this beautiful, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's what's going to happen after all this. We're going to be so much better off. I totally agree. And this happens if you look at history, which is the importance of history and not changing it. As if you look back on history, every time there was a major positive change, there was chaos. It's similar to cleaning out a closet, and I don't mean to minimize it, but it really is, right? Am I right? Come on, I'm right. So when you clean a closet out, you have to take everything out and then of the closet so that you can put it back in the order you want, get rid of things that you don't want to do anymore, discard things you don't want to have anymore, or give it to someone if it has, you know, value to someone else. But when you do, the whole room is filled with all this stuff, so it looks like even more of a mess than the closet if you just shut the door looks. But as you start putting things back, the sense of calm and control and organization comes over, and then slowly but surely the room empties out, but now the closet is all arranged and you only have things in it that you need. And I think right now we're getting rid of useless things that are not necessary. And we're giving an opportunity to see
what's important in our lives and what's not important in our lives, and get back to basics and reprioritize. I know I do that when I feel like I'm maybe not in a place I want to be or spiraling out of control. We've all had these kind of feelings before. I go to the water because it's so empowering, because it reminds you of how powerful that water is and how powerful the earth is. And you just look at it and realize that you're a speck of sand on the beach when it comes to everything that's going on around. So it puts everything back in perspective, don't you think, Christine?
Oh, yeah. I love that you bring up water. I forgot where I read it. And they say water is Christ-like. And it's not about religion. Just think about the life he led. It was all about uplifting, pardoning people, seeing the beauty in everyone, recognizing that we're all connected. No one's better than anyone else.
Right.
So I just love the water that you. I am that way too. The water there's just a sacredness to it.
Without a doubt, and that's why I like being around, and we have that opportunity every day. So if you were to speak to us and we're able to say anything, which you are, to all the listeners, what would be the message you would give right now?
I would say keep it simple, meaning start with the smallest gestures of kindness to yourself and to others. That smile changes somebody's day, and that has a ripple effect. But just keep it simple.
Yeah, it does. Everybody's smile does have a wonderful, wonderful effect.
Oh, wait,
and you never know.
We can't smile. We're wearing masks.
You can still smile. You can still see the eyes, the cheekbones. You can see the cheekbones rise. You can still see smiles under the mask. So it's all good. And hopefully the masks will be gone soon. And this is not, how we're going to have to be, but you can still communicate with the mask, because a lot of smiling is from the eyes anyway. So
yeah, true.
So I also think it's an opportunity to connect with people, and I see a lot more people looking into each other's eyes and at each other as opposed to down to the ground, because that's the only way we can connect now. We did it before, but we weren't taking notice of it. I think we do more of that now. But so you had a life experience that changed you, and like myself, I was always aware of this stuff and always intrigued in all these different modalities and meditation, but never knew how to go about doing it. And when I went through my life change, crisis, whatever, the major change, all this stuff came rushing in, and it was just very clear that this is what I'm supposed to do, like you. So with that said, what would be the best advice you could give, Christine, to our listeners as far as making changes like that? What's the best step to do that?
I would love that they would embrace it before a major upset in their lives, because sometimes, it'd be great if you were meditating and then a big upheaval came. You already had a tool. You had something.
Yeah.
And I would also share that this is what's going on in the world, and what's happening right now is very similar when you have a personal tragedy. You're completely broken down, but then you're broken open. And there's such freedom in that.
Yeah.
So if you could just give yourself loving kindness every single day and just focus on what's right about you, because there's so much more right about you, you'll just move through the world in a different evolutionary space. You'll vibrate higher. It doesn't have to take a tragedy for you to wake up. Start to become aware now.
I totally agree with that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a tragedy, but that's normally when that happens. And I know it happened to you as well as myself, right?
Yeah.
And the big change is wonderful. I love change. It's exciting because you don't know what else is coming in. So that's just sage advice, and I really appreciate you, Christine. You bring so much to us, and I would love to have you back, and definitely to show us some of the tapping moves that you need to do so that it can bring you some calm. If someone wants to reach out to you, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can go to Facebook and send me a message. My email is mindfulheart14@gmail.com. I love sharing and listening to what anyone has to share with me.
Yeah, you're definitely an open book, and really a great resource if you have any questions on any of these modalities and any questions at all, even if it's your life purpose. Reaching out to Christine, I really recommend it because she just understands and is just open and very positive. And you'll see when you vibrate higher, you'll see people drop away from your life, and other people come in that are vibrating at that same level. So it goes back to the crabs in the bucket story I've told in the past. And if you haven't heard the crabs in the bucket story, look it up on our shows. You'll see the crab in the bucket segment, and it's a really good reference. In the meantime, Christine, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Lori Anne. My heart is always lifted by sharing this time with you. We are here to serve one another, so please take a moment, step out of your day, and do a little something for someone else. And I'm always saying to you that it takes 21 days to build a habit, 90 days to build a lifestyle. We have an opportunity today to take some of Christine's advice and make it a habit, and then change it and make it part of your lifestyle. So thank you again for joining us on Healthy Lifestyle. Please stay safe, healthy, practice good loving to each other by staying safe and social distance. And thank you again for joining us. I'm Lori Anne Casdia. Until next time, play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big.